We're going to talk about the AFC East 2023 NFL draft grades. Mike is going to give his grade for each team. I'm going to give my grade for each team. We're going to go over each and every draft pick. UDFAs, we're not going to cover them. That's an episode for another day, okay? But, man, we're going to get into meat and potatoes. You ready, Mike?
Absolutely.
Man, let's get it. Now, those who know me, lifelong Dolphins fan. But I have, for someone who's Mike and I, we both interviewed a bunch of players in the league, man. So we got personal relationships with a lot of guys, man. And very excited to take and see dreams come true on draft day. But let's go ahead, let's kick it off, man, with the Buffalo Bills. Now, according to MSN.com, this is an article by the San Diego Tribune. They ranked them at A-. And I'm probably going to grade them about that. I'll give them, let's see, we got Dalton Kincaid, tight end. Then to jump over the Cowboys. Everybody knew Cowboys were probably going to get Dalton. It didn't happen. Buffalo made that jump in the draft. O'Cyrus Torrence. Dang it. Oh, my gosh. The rich get richer here. Dorian Williams, Tulane. Justin Shorter, wide receiver. Nick Brokert. Please forgive me if I'm saying that name wrong. Some German spelling in there. Offensive guard, Ole Miss. And then we got Alex Austin, cornerback, Oregon State. I am going to take and give them a solid A. They've beefed up their receivers, both tight end and wide receiver. Justin Shorter is, look, this dude's 6'4". I know his last name's Shorter, but don't get twisted. Dude is a beast, man. Dorian Williams, linebacker at Tulane. Tulane was just the way they upset USC in that bowl game, man. Dorian Williams was a huge part of that defense there, and they also got some help in the O-line. Not only we get O'Cyrus Torrence, but also Nick Broker as well too from Ole Miss, who's a very good offensive lineman. So I give him a solid A. Mike, where you got him at?
I'll give him a B+, man. I think the two picks that stand out to me is O'Cyrus Torrence. I think he was the best power guard in the draft. He dominated at Florida. He has a not as agile as a few other guards, but they just want a guard that's going to be able to run you through the face, and he does that very well. And then honestly, their last pick, Alex Austin from Oregon State, pretty athletic corner, good size. I think he has a sneaky chance to make this roster and contribute and develop. And again, I think there were some other picks they could have done that maybe help offset some needs that are coming up. But I think, hitting that with Dalton Kincaid, that two tight end set they're going to have, and then they got Gabe Davis and they got Stephon Diggs. It's going to be Knox. I mean, that's going to be a dangerous team. I do feel sorry for you that they're in your division. I'm glad you're in your division and not mine. But the rich got richer. They had a plan and they executed it.
Yeah, and they stuck to the script, man. And if you're a Bills fan, man, I got to put my biases aside as a Dolphins fan. They did the dang thing in the draft, and hey, salute. Then of course the next team, my team, the Miami Dolphins. MSN.com, again, article by the San Diego Tribune, ranks them as a C+. I think that's extremely fair. They got Cam Smith, cornerback, South Carolina. Cam Smith is debatably one of the best corners in this year's draft. Physical, can hit, great open field tackler, long arms, great attack at the high point of the ball. Love it. Devon Achane, he had the best 40 time of any running back in the draft. Then you had Elijah Higgins, who is a wide receiver. They're going to be moving him to tight end. He's like 230-something pounds, but he's big and stocky, so we'll see how that goes. And then we got Ryan Hayes, offensive tackle, Michigan. I would say C+ is fair. I have them at a solid C. And let me tell you why. I love all the guys here. I love all the picks. I love the effort. The Dolphins have a Super Bowl roster with the exception of half of our O-line. We needed a left guard and we needed a right tackle. I was hoping we would go more, hey, let's shoot for the housewife rather than the Kim Kardashian picks, right? And what I mean by that is like, hey, it's flashy, it look nice, but that don't mean it's necessarily gonna last forever. But here's the thing, Cam Smith, Xavier Howard is going to be out probably in a year or two, and he stays getting injured, right? So I love that pick there, right? Devon Achane, we have a whole bunch of running backs. He's going to be used for sure. It's just I feel like there were still a lot of really good offensive linemen that we could took earlier. Now, Ryan Hayes, we took him in the 7th round. I love that pick. He dominated at the Reese Senior Bowl. Watch his one-on-one drills on YouTube. Just type in Ryan Hayes, Hayes. Watch how he done on Senior Bowl. But man, was the plan really to wait all the way until a 7th round to get a potential starting right tackle? I'm not sure about that. Now, he did go to Michigan. Michigan has a history of putting out great offensive linemen, but again, very, very, very frustrating. But I like the UDFAs, and I say, hey, we're not going to talk UDFAs. They brought in a lot of great people. I think they're going to fix the O-line. That's me being a realist and an optimist at the same time, but I rank him at a C. Mike, where you got him at?
Yeah, I agree with the C, really for the same reasons. I think Cam Smith is a phenomenal man corner. He tackles well. He has a little bit of work to do in the zone, but I mean, stick to what you're good at. And the main thing, the main reason for that grade is literally the same thing you said. So I'm not going to beat a dead horse again, but there were starting linemen all the way into the 6th round in this draft. There's some players that got drafted. We'll talk about that. I think will be starting that are like 5th, 6th, 7th round picks. So I think they absolutely had an opportunity later on to get a starting tackle. That's like tackle from Pitt, McClendon. Georgia had a tackle out there, etc. Yeah. There's a few different players I think they could have got later on in the draft. But they must have a plan to protect Tua. That's my biggest thing. I think going into this offseason, besides taekwondo, judo, whatever Tua is doing, they need to get some linemen, right? You can't roundhouse kick a defense into the face. So I hope they further address that in this offseason. But I give them a C for that reason.
I agree, man. And it's like when you had guys like Jackson Kirkland in the 7th round still available. Jerome Carvin, who didn't give up a single sack last year, was a guard from Tennessee, still available. Again, this is probably the best UDFA class I've seen in the last decade. So, but yeah, gonna be interested how Miami pans out this year for sure. But cool. Next team is the New England Patriots. Christian Gonzalez, man. Hey, I love that pick for the Patriots. Again, put my biasness aside. That's a great pick. Keon White, DN, Georgia Tech. Marty Mapu, to safety out of Sacramento State. That's very Bill Belichick to pick a guy from like a small school people usually don't target, but very solid pick there. Jake Andrews, center out of Troy. Chad Ryland out of Maryland. City So, Eastern Michigan. Antonio Maffei. Kayshawn Boot. I know folks on, I think it was NFL Network, they call him Kayshawn Booty. No, it's Kayshawn Boot. It's French last name. Bryce Behringer, punter out of Michigan State. Demario Douglas, wide receiver Liberty. That guy, Demario Douglas, I want to say this real quick, man. Watch him the last 2 years, back when the backup quarterback over at Tennessee, Willis. That was a major target of his. So good to see him get picked up, man, because he balled out this year and he balled out more last year. Amir Speed, cornerback, Michigan State. I like that pick a lot. And then Isaiah Bolden, I love Jackson State University. I believe that was the only HBCU player. Again, that's very Bill Belichick to get guys from smaller schools. I love to see it. Again, put my biasness aside, man. They gave him an A. I'm gonna say give it an A as well too. They're shoring up the O-line. They're adding depth to areas that they're already strong at. They usually have very good cornerbacks as well too. And then of course they're adding. I think their secondary room is gonna be beast. When you have Christian Gonzalez and Isaiah Bolden on the same team, plus the guys you already have, it's gonna be a tough team to throw on the New England Patriots. So yeah, give them an A for sure.
Yeah, I'll give him a B plus because I think there were some better linemen, but I also trust Bill Belichick. Again, Christian Gonzalez was my favorite corner in this draft. He went to CU here in Colorado, transferred to Oregon his senior season, and would have been a first-round draft pick if he was playing for a high school team last year, right? That dude was an absolute animal, long, physical press corner, is not afraid to tackle. And Keon White from Georgia Tech is a real Patriots type lineman, a long physical guy, really strong at the point of attack. And again, a lot of these other guys, I mean, I get how much Bill Belichick values special teams, and a few of these picks, probably 4 of these picks were like directly for special teams. Obviously, punter, kicker, but a couple of the later round guys. So I think he does a good job of paying attention to detail in places that other teams don't. B plus is solid for me. I think this is more of the draft that the Dolphins could have had, taking some shots at some linemen, man. But I think it was a solid all-around draft, and hopefully they got a plan with the offensive coordinator now.
Oh, yeah, most definitely. Then we got the Jets. MSN.com gives them a B. B is in Bravo. They added Will McDonald, edge, Iowa State. Historically, Jets love going D-line in the first round, something they always done. But Will McDonald, that's a guy I've watched for quite a while. Dude is amazing. Then there's Joe Tippmann, center out of Wisconsin. Carter Warren, offensive tackle, Pittsburgh. Israel Abankanda, Canada. Please forgive me if I butcher his name. Running back out of Pittsburgh. Zaire Barnes, Western Michigan. That guy to Western Michigan, again, small school, balled out while he was at school. Got all kinds of great awards over there. Jarek Bernard Converse, cornerback, LSU, and Zach Kuntz, I don't know if I'm saying that name right, tight end, Old Dominion. They give them a B. I'm going to take and give them a solid, I'm going to give them a solid B-. Nothing too flashy here. They got the job done. I like that they beefed up the O-line. That O-line, Aaron Rodgers is not going to do what Aaron Rodgers does if he's getting smacked around like crazy. And to have someone like Joe Tippmann in there, have someone like Carter Warren, they already have tons of receivers. So they're really stacked there. They really just added to layers that they were supposed to, and they stuck to the course. And then, of course, you got to steal like Zach Kuntz in the 7th round. That's great. So I give him a solid B-. Mike, where you got him at?
I like this draft a little bit more than you do. I give him a B+. Will McDonald is Will McDonald. So I think he'll have a phenomenal career, especially there in that pass rush they have. Joe Tippmann will come in and start right away. And I think Carter Warren is going to come in and take somebody's tackle job. So if Fance or Mekhi Becton is hurt or not in shape, like they will lose their job. And then Zach Kuntz, I like a lot, man. 6'7", 255, running the 4.6, 540, big physical guy. I think that's a red zone target. Aaron Rodgers is one of the best throwers of football in NFL history. And I think if they can find a way to get that guy involved in that offense, that's going to elevate this draft class. But small school, big tight end, absolute monster. One of my favorite tight ends of the draft just because of that size-speed combination. So I think they did a pretty good job. And they had a phenomenal free agency. So I think they'll be really solid, man.
Love it. Love it. Thank you, Mike. And everyone, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Hit that subscribe button. Comment below. Let us know your thoughts. Thanks for watching another episode of the Touchdown with Doug Smith, where I cover all 32 NFL teams plus NFL exclusive interviews. Hit that subscribe button. Hit the bell for the alerts. Comment below, and we'll catch you next time on the Touchdown with Doug Smith.